Hello my little learners, you can call me Lovegood and I hope you enjoy this video. Here are just a few things before we get started. Today I'm presenting you with Chapter 17 of The Villain's Barista by Cherraim on AO3. This is for the Podficer's Baton. But anyways, thank you for tuning in to listen to me. As always, tags are in the description as well as warnings. But that's enough of my rambles and jambles and let's get right into the fic. This is the summary. Summary. Izuku's going to bring a family together. He's also going to adopt another stray. Well, not a stray. The commission has a leash on it. It's Saturday morning when Shoto walks in, yawning like he needs 12 hours more of sleep. He walks past Izuku into the kitchen and comes out a moment later with a bowl of cold soba in his hand. Who in the world eats soba in the morning? And why is there soba left over in the fridge? What is even happening? Can I get an iced matcha and salted caramel latte? Shoto asks, while slurping his food. Izuku blinks. Sure. He places the drink in front of his friend and is about to go back to his work when he realizes that Shoto never comes to the cafe in the morning. He usually comes after he visits his mother. Izuku turns to his friend to find that the heterochromatic-eyed boy is already looking at him. They stare at each other for a moment before Shoto sighs. Would you like to meet my mother? Shoto asks. Huh? Sure. Does your mother want to meet me, though? Let me ask that again. My mother actually wants to meet you. Do you want to meet her? Izuku blinks again. Of course. When do we go? Shoto finishes the last bite of his food and stands up abruptly. Right now. Wait, what? Who's going to look after Eri? Do I need to bring something for her? Don't worry. Don't worry. Why? Because I am here. Honey Locust kicks open the door and makes All Might pose in the entrance, flexing her non-existent muscles while smiling at everyone in the room. Her underlings that are currently in the cafe gape at their boss in astonishment. Off you go, young man. I'm going to take care of my daughter. Should Izuku be amazed by how good her All Might impression is? Or should he be concerned about the fact that Eri is now her kid? Okay. But before he can get ushered out, he swings around to look for something to give Shoto's mum. Since he doesn't have any idea at all, and it's still a bit early for shops to open, coffee would be the best bet. He wonders if she likes rosewater or not. They arrive at the Fijiya hospital, and Izuku can't help but feel slightly nervous. He's going to meet Shoto's mother. He's heard a lot of things about her, how she's kind and gentle, how Shoto has the courage to see her again because of Izuku, and how she's doing a lot better than before. The nurse smiles at them as she leads them to Shoto's mother's room. His friend knocks twice before a familiar voice speaks up. Come in. Izuku doesn't have time to think why he knows that voice, because Shoto is already opening the door to reveal the person who he's been talking to for a while at the park, and then the beach. Mom, this is the friend that I've been telling you about. Izuku-kun? Rei-san? They speak at the same time, staring at each other in bewilderment. How many times will this happen? It's kind of funny that he seems to know everyone now. Izuku and Rei, after a beat of surprised silence, laugh at each other. Shoto just stands there awkwardly before deciding to sit down. Oh, great. You guys know each other already. Shoto huffs. Izuku chuckles and joins them on the comfortable sofa. Did I not tell you about a boy I met? Rei sits up on her bed, getting a better angle to face them, and asks her son curiously. Shoto raises his brows. No. If you tell him about me, then you probably will need to tell him how you escaped the hospital too. Izuku reveals her secrets with a smirk. Rei gasps at him in betrayal. Izuku! Really, Mom? Shoto asks in shock. Who would have thought that his mother would run away out of boredom? I'm definitely telling Fuyumi about this. Shoto brings out his phone. Rei sighs slightly, but she has a smile on her face. Look what you did, Izuku-kun. Now I'm in trouble. Hopefully my drink can make up for it. Izuku takes the coffee from Shoto's hand, glad the boy had helped him keep the drink cool, and gives it to her. As you know, I'm a barista, so here's a drink I hope you like. It's a rosewater cardamom iced coffee. While he lets Rei enjoy the delicious drink, Izuku can't help but connect all of her stories to Shoto's and Darby's in his head. The person who locked it in here is no other than Endeavor himself. He shouldn't be surprised at all with the things he did to both of his sons. Knowing that the number 2 hero is behind this does make things easier in a way. If Izuku decides to get Rei out, then it wouldn't hurt anyone since Endeavour probably doesn't care about her, and if Darby's plans come to fruition, the fire hero is about to be dead soon anyways. Speaking of Darby, Izuku turns to Shoto and whispers, "Hey, did you ever tell your mother about Toya?" By the look on his friend's face, he totally didn't. Fuck, why did I never tell her that? Shoto facepalms. Should we tell her now? Tell me what? They both jump out of their seats when Rei suddenly appears in front of them. Izuku nudges Shoto with his elbow, and Shoto casts a pleading look at his friend before turning to look up at his mother. Shoto takes a deep breath, a sheen of frost forming on his hand. So, I never told you this before because it slipped over my mind. She nods in understanding. Shoto decides to bite the bullet and get it over with. Toya is still alive. There's a pause in which they can hear a pin drop. Rei's mouth opens and closes, trying to find words to say, but before she can gather herself, the door gets kicked open and 2 people tumble down into a pile on the floor. What did you just say? Shoto, what? A boy and a girl, both of them older than Izuku, grown from the floor where they fell. They both share a resemblance to Rei, white hair and grey eyes. While the boy's hair is short and spiky, the girl's hair is shoulder length and flecked with red. They quickly get up from the ground and scramble to Shoto. You aren't kidding, right? Where is he now? Izuku blinks at them. He can see the resemblance between the family. These must be Shoto's siblings. He moves quietly to the side, listening to the siblings that try to interrogate Shoto. Izuku is surprised that his friend never mentioned Darby before. If he was Shoto, he would have told them immediately that their supposed brother is still alive. Yo man, are you keeping secrets from us now? The white-haired man shakes Shoto's collar back and forth. When did you meet him? How did you meet him? Wait, where is he now? The other person tries her best to calm down her brother, but Izuku can see that she wants to throw a lot of questions in their little brother's face too. He notices Rei looking at him, an almost pleading look in her eyes. Izuku smiles at her in confirmation. Yeah, he's alive. Shoto and I met him last year, and we still see each other almost every day. The 2 older siblings probably only notice Izuku now, because they whip their head around so fast in his direction. Hello, I'm Shoto's friend. He starts, voice unexpectedly soft. His name is Izuku. Shoto introduces him, while trying to pull himself from under his brother's strong arm. Whoa, I didn't know Shoto has a friend. My name's Natsuo. Natsuo takes Izuku's hand and shakes it enthusiastically. I'm Fumi. Nice to meet you. Fumi smiles kindly at him. Her smile is almost the same as her mother's. Back to Toya. Where is he? Natsuo asks, turning back to Shoto. Is he okay? Rei says quietly behind him. Izuku makes eye contact with Shoto. There's one thing they need to know first before they tell them anything else. Before I tell you guys more, please be open-minded, yeah? And maybe think about what he's been through. When Izuku says this, they all absorb the words carefully, taking a moment before nodding for him to continue. Toya is a villain. Izuku can hear a sharp, shocked intake of breath from all 3 of them. A gasp from Fumi as Shoto quickly coming forward and holding his sister's hand. Oh, Toya, Rei says, drifting to sit down on an armchair near the window, but there's an understanding in her eyes that pains Izuku's heart to see. Natsuo and Fumi are quiet. Izuku is almost at the point where he just says that they should forget about what he said, but Natsuo suddenly turns to him with his fist clenched in determination. Where is he? Natsuo, he's a villain, Shoto says again. The white-haired man just shakes his head. No, Shoto, he's my brother, and he'll always be that first. Yeah, Fumi agrees as she brushes her tears away. Izuku sees Rei smile to herself. He wishes to take her to see her son as well, but there's no way they could unless they get a teleportation quirk. However, the only one Izuku knows at the moment, Kurogiri, is currently busy with some league business. A plan forms in his mind and he turns to face Rei. I promise I'll make Toya come and visit you, Rei-san. He then starts explaining everything from the beginning. Yay, he's gonna bring a family together. Even though his mother is long gone and he doesn't have his own family anymore, he would be more than happy to fix this family. To think that Darby is a little bit confused is an understatement. When he received news about a certain number 3 hero seeking him out yesterday, he swears to God that it was definitely a trap. But now he's here in a secluded, abandoned building because somehow Shigaraki finds this very funny and wants him to go and see what the bird has to offer, and he's waiting for his guest to arrive. To be honest, he really doesn't want to be here. What if he gets caught? Hopefully Mind Heist would be able to bail him out of jail. He puffs away at the cigarette in his hand when he catches his first sight of those red wings. Hawks drops down in front of him and waves in greeting as Darby looks him up and down. Why would a hero even want to come in contact with the villain? Definitely suspicious. Greetings, Darby. Hawks holds a relaxed posture and a cocky smile, both of which grate on his nerves. Darby can feel his eyes twitch in annoyance. God, he suddenly hates his job. He scoffs. Quit the act. I don't have all day for this shit. What do you want? Hawks stares at him for a moment before answering. I want to join the League of Villains. Bullshit. Darby glares, a few strands of smoke filtering through his clenched fists. Hero society is corrupt. We all know that. I've seen past those grand illusions and want to destroy it. The League is a great start. I know that you guys could do it, destroy this mess and build it up again. I want to be a part of that future. Even if doing this is a betrayal to my career, I think it's worth what lies ahead. Ugh, just stop. Does he seriously think Darby would believe that and let him in? That sounds like it comes from a poorly written script. Honestly, he should just burn the bird right then and there. But he remembers those files that Bunny asked him to retrieve at the Commission's Bank months ago. This guy has some history. He can't help but think that they can actually make use of him. And if they can't, corrupting a hero's mind sounds fun. Give me your phone, Darby says suddenly, startling Hawks a little. He doesn't wait for it to be handed to him. Darby snatches the phone and he doesn't have to look twice because this is certainly a tracking device. He ignites his fire, destroying the phone into a pile of ash. Hawks blinks at him. I know you have a listening device in somewhere, but I'm not going to burn that too, he states. And I don't care what you said. Hawks' wings flutter. Darby gives the hero another look over before he turns around to the perfectly timed warp gate. We'll contact you when there is a mission. The B-ranked villain disappears, leaving a confused hero behind. Is he in the League now, or was that a rejection? Darby knows right away that something's up when he walks into the cafe. He scans the room carefully. Nothing looks out of place, but there's definitely something. He spots Bunny at his usual spot, making some drink at the counter. For a while, he just stands there, but when nothing happens, he sighs and strides to get his usual coffee. He doesn't notice the ice is creeping along the floor until it's too late. The ice engulfs his legs, and he doesn't have enough time to use his quirk to melt his way out when someone, tackles him, sending them both to the ground. Darby would have punched them in the face, if not for the fact that he's staring into familiar, angry eyes that are filled with tears. Nissan! Fumi cries. Wait, Fiyumi? What the He can't even finish the sentence when another body collides with him, knocking the breath out of the both of them. I knew it! I told you he is the villain Darby. Oh my god, Toya! His brother, Natsuo, pulls him in for a tight, bone-grating hug. Damn, when did he start working out? But wait. What the hell, Bunny? He sends a question to the boy that is definitely the culprit. 100% the culprit because said boy is now smiling innocently at him, too innocently. He also notices Shoto sitting on a stool nearby, looking amused. Why didn't you contact us if you're alive? Fumi finally lets go of him, sitting back after Natsuo gets off them both. She still looks the same as ever. Fumi, I'm a villain now. Why would I want to associate myself with you? He says, trying to be reasonable. A little text like, hey, I'm alive and kicking would be great. Natsuo replies with sarcasm. Darby rolls his eyes. That one text alone would have made you guys want to find me even more. They both pause for a second. Touché. So why? The other reason we're here today, Natsuo cuts him off like the brat he is, Darby sighs, is because you're going to talk to Mom. What? Darby mumbles. She probably hates me. It's Fumi's turn to sigh. Nissan, she can never hate you. We all know who's at fault. That's why I'm going to destroy him. Darby growls. All of his siblings look at him. There's a lot of emotion in those eyes. Fear, excitement, intrigue. Just meet her first. Fumi says after some silence. He huffs. Fine, but only if that barista boy over there agrees to meet someone for me. Bunny has the audacity to pout at him. This is going to be fun. Hawks has tried so hard to get to meet Shigaraki Tomura, but no matter what he did, Darby didn't seem to change his mind. He just kept putting Hawks on drug transportation or elimination missions. Honestly, he doesn't feel like he's doing anything different from what he's done for the commission. Speaking of, the head of HPSC is starting to get annoyed with his reports. But what can he do? If Darby doesn't let him in the league, then there's nothing for him to write in there. He doesn't know what else to do to prove to the fire user that he's loyal. He almost jumps out of his bed when he gets a notification on his phone, the number getting more familiar by the day. Darby wants to talk to him. Does his hard work finally pay off? Hawks quickly dresses and flies to the coordinates as fast as possible. He can't even keep the smile off his face when he lands in the decrepit building. Darby doesn't bother to greet him and grabs his hand instead. His body goes stiff. Red feathers that are floating around are ready to attack, and would have if not for the piece of paper that gets shoved into his hand. Hawks looks down in confusion. The scarred villain gives the floating feathers a side eye before letting go of his hand. If you attack, then we're done here, Birdie. The villain takes a step back and points at the paper. Go to that place, and if he approves of you, maybe you can meet the boss. Hawks gets even more confused. There's someone higher in command than Darby. He's pretty sure that Darby is the second in command. That's why he's even here in the first place. Ugh, then what's the point of doing all those stupid missions? Sure. He gives Darby a salute and takes off. Even without looking back, Hawks can sense the guy is rolling his eyes. Why is it so hard to make a villain like him? Oh right, he's the number 3 hero. He looks at the paper while he's in the sky. The address is in the villain-friendly zone. He doesn't know how the city still exists, truthfully. He remembers the commission tried to get rid of it a long time ago, but after so long of getting on their asses to handle them, they finally gave up. It's not like the villain area does anything, and normal civilians don't know the existence of the place anyway. Hawks lands at the borderline of the area a couple of minutes later. There's no hero on duty around, but a couple of low-ranked villains stop and stare at him curiously. They don't seem to be hostile, but that could change the moment he steps over the line. Isn't there a rule where heroes aren't allowed in here without permission? What you doing here, number 3? A C-rank villain with metal arms asks him when she walks past by the border. Should he even be talking to them? Oh, fuck it. Everything is for the mission. It's not like they can get him in trouble. Well, Darby wants me to go to this place. He shows her the paper. I don't know if I can go in there, though. She gives Hawks a grin. Go ahead, my man. If you're not attacking me and Darby sent you here, I think you can continue your journey. It's that easy to enter the area? While he's still gathering himself to the fact that this zone is not hard at all to enter, she pats him on the back and leaves to do her business. Good luck with the little bunny, Mr. Hawks. She shouts over her shoulder before disappearing into an alleyway. Another question adds itself to the list. How many does he have today? 100 questions, and who is the little bunny? Is that a code for some secret chamber? Is Darby sending him to die? He sighs. Why is it so hard to be a spy? Hawks folds his wings and decides to walk to his destination. As he strolls through the streets looking for the address that he's supposed to go to, he notices that the city doesn't look any different than the normal one. It looked, well, normal too. When he arrives at the address, he can tell the place is owned by a high-ranked villain. Every A-class tends to have more money than normal villains, seeing as having a higher villain status is usually equated with stealing and other jobs worth more money. Hawks doesn't understand why they keep being a criminal after they attain all that money. Maybe doing crimes is more fun. The adrenaline they get from being chased by heroes is probably why they're still in the field. He sighs and pushes the door open. He expects a room full of villains, weapons and quirks ready to attack. Or maybe that the room would explode or something. The last thing he expects is a normal-looking cafe. The first thing that hits him, surprisingly, is not a gun, but a scent of coffee and tea that lingers in the room. Hawks blinks. His eyes scan the room looking for any danger, but there's nothing except the kid at the counter. The boy's green hair and freckles are the first notable things about him. Overall, nothing in this baby broccoli screams danger. He doesn't even look like a villain. But hey, you can't judge a book by its cover, right? Hawks clears his throat. The kid jumps at the sound, spinning around to look at him. His big, shining forest green eyes turn to him and freeze. Hawks? The boy squeaks. He raises his eyebrows. Hello, baby bird. Is there someone I need to meet here? The kid tilts his head in confusion, and Hawks suddenly remembers him. It's the same kid that sent Todoroki to the location he's staying. Wait, if this friend of his intern is in a villain zone, is he a villain? Does Todoroki know about this? If he does, then there's a chance of them working with the League is pretty high. The dots are all aligned, but he needs to meet Shigaraki to connect them. Destroying the League from the inside shouldn't be too hard, right? Hawks doesn't see the gleaming eyes of the boy as Hawks debates with himself. Unknown to the hero, the boy already formed a plan to deal with him. Izuku wants to smack Darby over the head. He didn't tell him the person he wants Bunny to meet is Hawks. Izuku has so many questions right now. Why is the number 3 hero here? How does he know Darby? Does that mean he's turning to the villain side? While the winged hero looked around the place, Izuku comes to a conclusion. The hero is definitely a spy. Based on the commission's file, if Hawks wants to be a villain, he would have done that a while ago. He doesn't even need the League at all. His quirk could alone defeat almost all of the top 10. And if he really does want to betray the commission, Hawks still wouldn't need the League. Does he think the League could rebuild society? Maybe. But whatever the reason, Izuku doesn't doubt his thoughts that the hero would stab them in the back in the future. But that's because the hero is still tied to the commission. I think that would be me, Izuku, after a moment, answers cheerfully. Hawks blinks at him, then looks him up and down, like a hawk analysing its prey. So you're a villain then? He observes. Izuku smiles. Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm not a villain. You're in the right place though. Hawks narrows his eyes. Izuku decides to make him something to drink while the hero continues trying to read him. A maple pecan latte is placed in front of Hawks when he sits on a stool. He observes the drink and sips it slowly. Izuku stifles a laugh when the man's eyes light up and downs the coffee when he's sure there's no poison. Hawks clears his throat. So, who exactly are you? Izuku points to the empty cup. I'm a barista. Hawks snorts. Villain's barista. The greener ignores that. So, what'd you do to make Darby send you here? Do I need to answer that? Izuku shrugs. If you don't want to get into the League, then that's fine. With that, he turns around to make some more coffees for the villains that just came in. Hawks flaps his wings and quickly answers. No, I mean yes, I want to join. But Darby won't let me see Shigaraki, and now I'm here. Okay. Oh, wait. Izuku giggles. Are you sure? Do you want to be in the League? He glances over his shoulder with a smile. Or do you want the League to cut you off the commission's leash? Hawk stills. Izuku wants to laugh. Time to fix another problem. Alrighty, my little learners, that's a wrap of this one. So, more Todoroki family stuff. We got a Todoroki family reunion, and we also get Hawks. Also, sorry it's so, airy. A few videos from now on will be like that, because I'm in a slightly different space as my room is getting redone, and I'm sat near a window, which is why it's making that noise. So, I hope that's okay. Hope the quality isn't too bad. But, yeah. So, my little learners, this is a little reminder you might have something you need to check. I hope you all will have a fantastic time wherever and whenever you may be. Day, night, dusk, dawn, low tide, high tide, whatever it is for you. You can call me Lovegood, and that was chapter 17 of The Villain's Barista by Cherraim. Again, the link to this fic will be in the pinned comment by me in this video, and tags are in the description as well as warnings, and also the link to the channel of the chapter which is coming next, and Pika's channel for the playlist. Bye, little learners. Toya is a villain. Okay, that timing was funny.